literally gonna be pitch black, I bet. It's gonna be hard to see. But I figured I'm taking the dog out for a walk. I might as well have a chat. And I don't look so hot. Woo! I don't know what's going on with me, so come on, dog. I'm not gonna grace you guys with my presence tonight. If anyone wants to know, there has been some major drama lately, and I don't know if it's because of the fact that we're all cooped up in our homes or what, but I've never been one to keep my mouth shut, especially when things are going awry, and they're certainly going awry. Hey, Dove Kitty. I love the pink. You're in pink today. I am walking the dog tonight. It feels amazing outside, and I'm going to rant. Dog, you're going the wrong direction. Oh, see? Here's me. It's really dark out. Cabin fever, yes. Hey, Kayla Ray, Laura Spritz. I noticed that it was nice out, so I figured I'd go for a walk and say what's up. Hey, T-Queen. I love these walks and chats and whatnot. I feel like y'all need to brace yourself for this rant because, yeah, the internet and everyone in the internet online community has officially lost their mind. Dog, we're not going across the street. Dog. He's gonna drive me nuts. And it looks like my connection's not that great. This always happens. But, you know, just walking around. And it's dark. It's probably like 70 degrees out here though. So it feels amazing. We're gonna walk around at least once or twice. And I'm gonna rant. Dog. He keeps wanting to go into traffic. The online people did have a mind at some point, I feel, but suddenly they don't. I am no longer in a big Discord server or a mod or a participating supporter of Unirock, and it was meant to happen sooner or later. It's been coming, but apparently anything and everything he's been complaining about Steve McRae over, he does himself. So basically he decided that he was just going to trash anybody and everybody that's been a loyal supporter of his or a mod of his for a really long time over, honestly, I don't even know what happened. Supposedly, I guess some members got hidden or banned on Rock-A-Lot, and I guess since Moderate and Old Mofo were the only two old mods that still had a mod wrench on that channel, I guess he decided that he was going to spew all this hatred their way and assume that they did the deed. Well, he didn't ever address it except for when he was on the stream, and while he was in the stream, it kind of didn't really seem like he got upset over it. He didn't really hardly seem fazed. It's almost like he set them up or something because of the way he reacted, but I honestly don't know. I was such a new mod anyway. I'm glad I didn't get to do any modding. Hey mod, I'm glad I didn't get to do anything because I know he would have flipped on me and said, you know, I was to blame if I had done something not according to his liking, which I'd actually seen him do that often. Hannah and War were taking care of a troll one night, and he started yelling at them midstream, and this was before I even got a mod wrench, and I should have known right then and there that that dude does not have his mods back. It's sad to see when people are so loyal to someone and have somebody's back, and then that person turns around and spits on them. I've always been like a ride or die type of person, so I personally could not watch it. And then when it got said and done and so and such was accused, I know for a fact that was not the case, and there was no evidence proven. And I started seeing circumstances take place just like when Steve McRae and all his drama occurred, and it was identical. Like, it seems as though he said who did it, and that was that. He didn't have to show proof. He didn't have to have rhyme or reason. He didn't have to explain himself. Basically, whatever he says goes. And the group of people that UniRock has in his stream basically are his mods. It's like a big mod party, and they all have to agree with him, or else you can't really be part of that. You can't sit with us, if you know what I mean. I don't know if all the guys are going to know that reference, but that's a reference to the Mean Girls Club. It's a movie where girls gang up on other girls that are not as cool as they are, and they all sit at a certain table. So if you try to sit at that table, you're not allowed to sit. And with UniRock and his group of people, they act that way. They definitely discriminate against people that have a different opinion, well, that have a brain. And I'm glad that I found out sooner versus later that was the case, because I did waste some time trying to fit in with them. Sorry that it's so bouncy. The dog is walking me as usual, and I'm just trying to not show my face because I kind of look rough today and walk and talk at the same time, but this never works out. I need to get some type of stand or something. He's just over here enjoying it. It's really nice out. It's like 70 degrees out. Hey, Danny. Let's see. I was wondering why you were stream at the same time Uni was. Yeah, I no longer follow UniRock or have his back or support anything he says or does. And yeah, Kayla Ray, I'm not trying to call him names or be ugly. I just can't agree with somebody that publicly humiliates the people that have his back and doesn't stand up for people that stand up for him. And he doesn't ever have any factual evidence or proof on anything he says. He just takes his hatred for Steve McRae and goes along with the narrative that he's created in his brain, and doesn't really care what he says or if it has any fact or logic or merit or whatever the fancy word he wants to use at the time. I was trying not to make a video out of anger, and when I took the dog out, I realized it's not anger. I actually don't feel anger. I more or less feel like I wasted a little bit of my time, but I feel bad for the other people because they actually spent time, like as in years. I have been a watcher of UniRock's channel since probably 2017, but I never participated because I've kind of always seen this type of thing occur, but never really witnessed it personally. So I don't know, it's like I knew better and then I got involved and then bam, there it went. There goes my mod wrench. I did not get kicked or banned. I left the server on my own because I definitely don't sit well in a setting where the environment is that hostile. I do not tolerate people talking bad about people that I've become to know and love. I don't do well. So I can't sit and pretend in a server where I'm very much aware of what goes on behind the scenes. And so that was starting to occur. And so instead of staying there and doing that, I left on my own accord. Well, not to mention, he was actually starting to demand that people tell him what other servers they were a part of. And when he did not like another Discord server that you may be participating in, he was trying to claim that you should not be allowed to be in that server, which I have a mom, I have a dad. I don't know who you think you are. You don't pay me. You're definitely not good enough to watch to be able to even suggest that I don't follow another server. And therefore, your opinion and your claim and your freaking request of somebody not being in other people's servers is null and void. Get out. I see Dove Kitty, you said that he called me a troll. funny how just this morning I was a mod for his channel, and so to call me a troll not even a full day later, I mean, that just speaks more on his character than mine. I wish I would have stuck around for that one, just because he actually is the one that's a known admitted troll. And I'm going to go into that because he's actually said several times in the last 2 days, he's called names out. So KatieRock is so cool though. Like, check it out, my dude. I got a banger video coming. Hey, busy. Go get me a Red Bull and a vape. Rage, make my dinner, woman. Just need to ignore the idiots. Yeah. Danny, you know me well enough to know that I am never going to silence myself, and therefore when I feel like there's something that needs to be brought attention to and mentioned, I'm always going to mention it. It's almost a flaw that I have where I cannot keep my mouth shut, and he's lucky that he had Cricket do his little mod meeting today, because I sat into that and I was listening. I was looking for rhyme or reason as to why certain people were no longer allowed to be mentioned. And I wasn't there last night at 4 o'clock in the morning when he supposedly had his meeting where he told everybody that certain names were not allowed to be mentioned. So I sat there and listened to Cricket and started really getting the idea that they were going to spin this story into something imaginary that it was not. A simple trolling incident / possibly hidden members, whatever happened with the channel where somebody messed with him, turned into a full-blown tall tale. His nose would have turned into Pinocchio's had there been that scenario in play. He basically had Cricket tell everybody in the meeting today that somebody's threatening his life and threatening his children. First of all, now everybody knows damn well that nobody brings children into this. This is YouTube. This is not real life. I'm out here getting loud. I'm sorry. All right, I gotta talk softer. Everybody knows that YouTube is not real life. I have a life outside of YouTube. I do not condone anybody bringing anybody's families, children, whatever. No. And nobody that I associate with or know does that either. So for KatieRock to come out and send Cricket to hold a mod meeting and tell the people in the meeting that somebody's threatened Unirock's life and their children, it's a bold-faced lie. You can come at me with that and I can prove you wrong on a million angles. I'm not the one. Do not try and accuse anybody of doing that to you, because it never happened. The second thing, then she goes to explain that she's not really sure what some of the answers are, but they're trying to get Discord sorted out, and that when you get to participate in a Discord server with Unirock, you should take that as a joy and a happy occasion that he's actually spending his time with you and allowing you to be a part of his server. Aw, KatieRock, that is so sweet of you. I feel so honored. Thank you so much. KatieRock, I don't know what I would have ever done without your time and loving effort in chats. You've spent all that time playing Tarkov and ignoring every single thing that I've ever said, asking for explanations as to why everybody hates you and KatieRock, and ignoring me the whole time while you were playing Tarkov, and then getting annoyed because I said facts that actually made sense and you didn't like them. Well, I'm not the one, KatieRock. I'm not the one. I should have known that this definitely was not for me. But since I did step into this one, and since I did go and experience the whole YouTube Discord gangbang that I felt I had today, I'm going to go ahead and share every last little bit of it. And yes, moderate extremists, you have me saying KatieRock officially, because clearly that is the core of the problem. I feel like maybe I should start over from the beginning. I started watching Unirock when I was a small fan of Marfugel. It's kind of like a cult family slash truth slash faker channel that pretends to be a truther channel. I don't suggest you guys look it up because they do monitor everything that you do, all the places that you freaking visit, and where you live on their Discord server. So be fully warned, Marfugel News is a shill and an asset, and I would not mess with that channel, but I'm going to move along. So there was a day where Marfugel went to a FEMA camp and he got an interview with a FEMA camp official. He didn't have the balls to say his own name when the guy asked him what YouTube channel he ran, so he said Unirock. Well, that was probably like 2018. I got curious, so I looked up Unirock, and ever since then I'd slowly kind of been on the low key watching Unirock because I felt like he was anti Marfugel, and therefore I felt like I could get some information out of his streams. And he did have some relatively interesting conspiracy theory debunker type news. Hey, Suge. No, it was me and Rockalot's account, and I am no longer associated with that account. He's burned all the bridges of every relationship he's ever had with all of his old-time mods. And I'm actually a newer mod, so I haven't really participated too much, thankfully. But all hell hit haywire today. And I see you, Wells Junkie. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming out and watching me tonight. I feel bad you guys have to come see me on this mini rant meltdown I'm having. The dog just made me go in a full circle. That made me dizzy a little bit. But yeah, so let me get back to my story. Marfugel and Unirock were two supposed truthers, which I'm actually starting to feel like they may have been working on the same side the whole time. Defango, Marfugel, Unirock, Lifting the Veil, what's that guy's name? Nathan. Just a couple of channels right off the top of my head. All kind of seem to have some type of role play going on, if that makes sense. So I got into Unirock back then, but I did not actually try and participate with the channel until recently. It was probably October of last year where I started to participate in the chats, and I started to attempt to gain access to the Discord server. I met a couple of the mods through chatting in their, streams, and that's where I feel like I gained a lot of my relationships that I have so far. There's some absolutely amazing people in they're no longer mods, but they were mods for Unirock. Well, what started to occur is the Steve drama. I was there when Steve came into a server and asked Unirock to help him out with the Katie stuff, and that was the first time I had personally witnessed Unirock flip-flop his sides of his story fully. And people had warned me, said that actually happened quite often, and I hadn't seen it, but I had seen him fully dissect the things that I felt like were controversial to me. And so I just kind of stuck around and was like, okay, well, he flip-flopped his story from being Team Steve McRae to Team Katie. And okay, cool. We all started to see how Steve McRae was almost borderline obsessed with Katie. He literally still has like 50 videos of her on his channel, and it's not really normal. But Katie joined the Discord, and shortly after I got invited, finally, after like begging for 3 months. And so there we are. I am totally out of breath walking the dog. This is pathetic. But Katie starts coming into the server, and usually on a day-to-day basis, Unirock comes in and talks to his mods and gets an idea of like how he's going to run his stream for the night. And so he did that, but Katie would start to drop in, which is where her storyline comes in. She would start coming into the Discord server and disrupting everybody. It's like she would randomly come in and drop a screenshot, and it would just cause a full-blown chaotic story that it just, I don't know how else to explain it. So then everybody's telling him, hey, how long is she going to be in the server? Because she has a mod role in the server, so she can look in all the rooms. So you can't really complain about her or say anything about her in the mod rooms. She supposedly, according to him, didn't have a mod role, but only needed the role because she needed to participate in the stream room, which, okay, that's fine. But she actually thinks she's a mod, and she cannot be modded. Some of the old long-term mods try to mod her and tell her, hey, don't talk about your kid, or hey, don't do this, and she just freaks out because she's one of those people, you just can't mod them. Well, Unirock still to this day is like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why everybody hates Katie and why they decided to abandon me. Well, KatieRock, if you had actually stopped and listened to your mods, which I did try and explain, even though it was the most painful time I have ever had trying to hold a conversation with anybody, but I tried. Well, he still doesn't get it because the entire time I was trying to explain it to him, he was playing his game, not paying attention, not really looking for anybody to tell him anything because he already had his mind made up. And now he's left with not a single old-timey mod, but Cricket and Nana, who are both, I'm sorry, they're both icky. Night, Danny. Thanks for coming. And yeah, his channel will only attract people who don't know how to adult. Yes. It's more than that. It's worse because his channel is actually attracting people that only know how to nod and smile and agree. And I'm not the one. The second that he went out of his way and started naming off names, old mofo, moderate extremist, war, the second he started to decide he was going to bash those people with no rhyme or reason, I can't sit back to that. They've not done a single thing but defend you when you were wrong on every angle. And it just makes me so mad because he can't actually take any type of criticism. So you can't actually tell him anything. He clicks out of the voice chat and like storms off angrily like a little bitch. I'm sorry. I've never, ever in real life on the internet ever had any kind of interaction with a human being to where the person could not hold a conversation. I mean, all right, let me give you guys an idea. Before I got in the voice chat and we were going to discuss the whole Katie scenario, I was in voice chat with like 5 people and I'm like, okay, how do I talk to him about this? Because he doesn't seem like he has any type of attention span. So Rachel's like, you should make bullet points. What? You're telling me I need to make a PowerPoint presentation to be able to speak with this guy about a simple thing and to explain to him what the agreement was or disagreement was? Okay, so I took a piece of paper out and I decided, what the heck? I'm going to write down what the problem is. There are 13 people in mod chat. They all tell you Katie is not a nice person. She comes in, acts like she owns the server. She's got a bad attitude. She taunts other people. She talks bad about other people. How long are you going to keep her around? As long as we were aware of what was going on or what we needed to do as far as dealing with her, we were all fine. He basically just, the second that I started speaking, he's like, no, I'm not looking for screenshots. That's just hearsay drama. No, I'm not looking for your opinion on how you felt about her. No, you've got to be logical about this. Use critical thinking. What? Excuse me? Do you even know what those words mean? If I hear my dude call someone a simp one more time, I might lose my mind. Seriously. I don't believe he knows what the word means, and that's painful. And then he goes out of his way to try and make a joke out of calling Sweet Heathen a simp, who is a girl who's not a simp because it doesn't match the definition of the word simp. I mean, are we adults or are we adults? I thought I was an adult. I'm starting to feel like I'm not an adult. He really doesn't like me sitting here on the curb. I just wanted to talk a little longer before I went in. And since my daughter's been home from school and my husband, we're in an apartment, so we're kind of in close quarters. I love them to death. It's just very hard to do a live stream. And I'm actually working on some things where I'm gathering data and information. And so it'll have to come together a lot more professionally than I've been doing lately. But I figured I could sit out here with you guys, and it looks like my signal is strong and everything looks great. But he's pulling me. Yeah, Dove Kitty. Vaping Vader is an avid KatieRock fan that even changed her name to match her little or his persona. I keep calling him her, it, KatieRock. I don't know. But it's like, how do you take somebody that's like your number one fan and completely crush them and take away their mod wrench, and just because you're assuming something to be the case and he doesn't actually have valid proof. Oh, and Christina Rain, I know you're going to see this and hear it. You really, really are going to face karma one day, and I sure hope that it's not as ugly as you've been. I'm sorry. I just... things that get repeated back as to how things went down at 4 a.m., it's amazing. It's amazing what you find out. But somebody that belongs to 14 servers and dips their fingers in every freaking pot, bowl, whatever you want to call it, has no business telling anybody whoever else is in whatever other server. Just stop it. Stop it. I just can't. And I guess she must have a high membership with KatieRock, and so he's never going to step on her toes because, you know, $50 to $100 a month. I don't know what her membership is, but I'm guessing that poor KatieRock needs to afford his fingerless gloves and can't afford to lose a paid member like that. So therefore, you know, we're all paid spies that aren't paid, you know, us KatieRock modders and members to be. Really? Just saying. I've seen you call out so many people and out of nowhere blurting out that mod extremists tried to send you an invite to Old Mofo's server. Honey, that never happened. Mofo didn't just hand out invites to his server. So, how about you try and actually get factual information to share with people before you decide to share and smear everybody, and make sure you're not sitting in a glass house, honey. But I have to get back to the whole KatieRock situation, because this is not just going to go away. He's still mentioning on his little live stream that he doesn't understand it. The mods and KatieRock hated each other, and he has no idea why. And oh, he tried so hard to get everybody to get along, and he tried so hard to, you know, figure out what the problem was and moderate properly, and that never happened. He came in, he argued with 13 mods that all told him the same thing about how they didn't get along with Katie. He didn't listen to a single piece of information that anybody gave him. He told everybody that she had subs and he had gained subs from her, and what are we doing to his business by asking him to remove 1,000, no, actually he said 1 million sub channel out of his Discord that he's using to gain subs from. Oh, right? Is that what we're doing? Oh, and Dilly, his vaccine stance is definitely pro-vax, although he tries to dance with the words that he uses a lot. He tries to make you confused and not understand what he's saying, but I fully understand. He basically said that he believes in vaccines, and that because Katie was pro-vaccines and you were anti-vaccines was the reason y'all clashed, but he understood that, and that he doesn't believe in every vaccine, but he understands the disagreement, and that that's just a normal disagreement y'all were having, and completely dismissed the fact that he doesn't fully believe in vaccines himself, or all of them, which, you know, if you miss out little bits and pieces of information, Suge, I love you, my dude. See, I need to really, really get rid of that lingo. I'm going to start scrubbing KatieRock lingo narrative from my mouth with that $10. The dog is really getting really annoyed that I'm sitting here on the curb. He's choking himself to death. He's already threw up once. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, Suge. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. But yeah, I see you guys are having somewhat of a disagreement. Let's try and keep it nice in my chat, please. I know that tempers are high tonight. I feel like it's a full moon. I don't know what's going on with people lately, or if we've just been cooped up at home so much that we just can't. I don't know. It's just, it's insanity. I'm tired of being in the house myself, but I still have morals. I still have values. I still have, things that I stand for, and I will not give it up for some random channel that barely has 16,000 subs that doesn't do a single thing for me, and I was a moderator in the channel. I can't let go of every one of my morals and values. I can't. The second that you started bashing the mods that I've known and loved before I became a moderator myself, I cannot. It's going to full-blown continue. It's not just going to go away. You keep asking on your streams and mentioning people by name without having proof or rhyme or reason. And it's not okay. You can't do that. You can't make up stories about people threatening your life or your children. That never happened. I don't condone that behavior. I do not condone anyone that attempts that behavior. Other than that, here we are. It's Sunday night, chilling outside. It's probably about 70 degrees out here in Virginia. And we're all on the internet getting really tired of being cooped up and inside. Dog hates that he's tied up and is trying to get away from me, and he's choking himself, so I feel a little bit bad for him, but I'm still talking. Kayla Ray, he had said in his Discord this morning, I believe, or last night, that somebody threatened his family and his children, and there was no proof or explanation or anything to show that that was the case. There was a comment from somebody that was defending Red's rhetoric that was under his last video, and that was used to say that someone was threatening or commenting a threatening manner. And even that, to me, it just seemed like a troll comment that basically said to not speak on Red's rhetoric and his channel because they are friends with him, and how that goes. But I don't believe that it was even anything threatening there, but they claimed that that was the threatening comment, which those people have nothing to do with ex-mods from KatieRock TV. And so just like before, just like with Steve, just like with all the other drama in all of these channels, There was no proof, no rhyme or reason, no explanation given, just simply they stated, and I'm not even saying KatieRock did it, because Cricket, I don't want to say names or be ugly, Cricket, the mod that's been there for a while with KatieRock TV, she held the meeting, and Unirock didn't even come into the meeting before I left, and after that I just left because I can't handle anymore. I can't handle pretending like everything's fine and not addressing certain issues. And when she was discussing the things that went on, she said, I don't have all the answers. I don't really know what all is going to occur out of this or what exactly happened, and do you guys want to talk about it, or do you have any questions? Well, I don't have anything else to say after seeing this go down probably about 15 times with Katie. This particular thing was not Katie involved, but I've seen it occur, and I'm not going to speak. At this point, I was such a new mod that I hadn't got to even do anything that was mod related. I hadn't got to do a single thing, and I was okay with that because, as I said previously, he tends to snap and start yelling at mods in live streams when they're just trying to get his back, and I don't agree with that either. So I sure hope that he stops talking about these mods and just, I don't know, gets some better content and stops being the LARPer that he is. I said it. I'm sorry. It's just, I feel like I've been fooled. But he needs to get this narrative out of his brain, because I'm not going to just sit back and be quiet. And the more that I keep seeing him trying to drag war, diligent escape, moderate extreme, old mofo who doesn't like to be mentioned, so I won't mention him anymore, but he's my favorite. I love a good asshole. After my husband, of course. My husband is an asshole. I seem to really, really make good friends with assholes because they tell you how it is, and they typically don't lie, and they try to somewhat have your best interest, because if somebody's not being an asshole to you, they're not caring about what I mean? If somebody's an asshole, they typically are trying to tell you something to help you. So, hey, Amy Lou. Yeah, definitely to each his own. Yeah, they've been calling out Torn Edge. They've been calling out a couple of the ex-mods that are no longer there that left on their own. And it was basically because of their disagreements with, what had been going down within the channel for a while now. And so to turn this, whatever even happened, to turn it into something and start blaming people and start reading out names and accusing people, it's just not okay. You can't do that. That's like, to me, that's almost as bad as doxing somebody, because you're calling them out by their screen name. It's not their real name, but you're calling them out by their screen name and claiming that they had some sort of part in doing something malicious to you, which none of these people did. None of these people cared even after they decided to leave the channel. They didn't mention you in their server. They didn't think about you after that. A few of them that I've talked to said they felt relieved after they left, because you basically use anyone that you can to do your dirty work. They were your main researchers. They were the ones that gave you your content. And now that you don't have them, you're having a hard time. You've been focusing on Steve McRae like you're just about as obsessed with him as he is with Katie Joy. KatieRock, you really need to wake up and really shake yourself in the morning to try and recognize what the problem is within, because there's clearly a problem. You clearly missed some type of mark in life. You can't seem to grasp why your mods left you and you chose Katie over your mods, and you don't understand. Well, I've shown you a little bit of why here. I don't believe that you're ever going to listen to it, KatieRock, but eventually you're going to need to stop playing Tarkov, which you're really not that good at, just so you know. And the whole perk of the game that is the biggest thing that is needed when you're playing is that you listen to the things around you. So having your chat open while you're trying to game in a game that's seriously surrounded by you listening to the things around you, you might want to work on that, and then you might be better. But anyways, I appreciate everyone here. I'm sorry I had to rant just a little bit. I'm sure I'm going to bring this up again, especially if I get mentioned, or if I see some of my close friends mentioned, because I just get triggered, I guess. Amy Lou said, my son watched some and enjoys it, but said he's not good. Yeah, he's not good. And I don't think that it's that he's not good. I almost think it's just that he doesn't listen, and a lot of the game consists of you listening for people's footsteps and to the surroundings and the type of fire that gets shot around you, so you can see if it's the type of player that you're looking for or a scab. The game is intense, and it's got a lot of details to it that he just doesn't really pay attention to. But the word Discord, actually, and I don't know how to share stream off of my phone, but the word Discord is basically some type of confrontation or spat is the true definition. You guys go online and Google the word Discord and look at the definition for the word. It basically means to have discourse with somebody. Yes, thank you, Dilly. Chaos. And so I almost can't expect to be participating in a Discord server and not have chaos or, some type of disagreement. And so I don't know if I can even complain about the fact that, the Discord server is messed up, or that there's chaos and argument in the server, because basically that's the word, that's the term, that's what it means. So it's like, we'd be crazy to complain that there's conflict and discord, and it's almost ironic, like, you don't say. We have all kinds of chaos and discord, yes. I don't know what it is. I actually thought more or less it was the fact that we were all cooped up at home lately, but I think discord in general is exactly what the term is. He's getting upset, like, hey, why are we still sitting here? I enjoy talking, and I like going back and forth with the comments. Let's see. I try not to say like a lot, or parrot KatieRock's narrative and say freaking my dude, or ding dong, or, It happens when you watch a certain creator for a certain period of time. You start mimicking their narrative, apparently. And anytime I say the word narrative, you are supposed to drink. Discordia, the goddess sown chaos between Adamus, Aphrodite, and Athena by offering a gold apple to the most beautiful. Wow, that's interesting. Yes, I can't imagine having more than one child, because my one is just like constant needed attention, and the schooling stuff they've sent out for the kids to do, and I'm like, I'm not a teacher, this is stressful. I feel like I should have lesson plans and certain planners open to certain dates, and like I don't know, I just like doing things properly. So I feel like in order to be able to teach her things, I need to have things in order in a certain way, but that's wishful thinking. Dog. So yeah, I got to tell you guys a little bit of my backstory on what's been happening. Again, I am no longer affiliated or moderating for the channel KatieRock, aka Unirock, aka Rock a Lot. And I am more than okay with that. I am actually happy, and I feel relieved, just like some of the other mods that had left on their own accord as well, which I'm not going to name anymore, because I have my story to tell and I've told it. I don't feel like it's my business to kind of share other people's. It's just necessary to kind of get the whole story out there. but it's going to go on. Like I said, if I continue to get the, not announcements, the notifications that it's been talked about still, I'm still going to talk about it back. I mean, when you have some type of disagreement with somebody, even if it's on YouTube, if you decide to discuss it, you open yourself up for somebody to discuss it back with you. Just saying. And yes, nobody was prepared to be a freaking school teacher, that's for sure. He's such a good watchdog. He thinks that he has to attack everybody, and he really doesn't recognize that he's 20 pounds. Don't tell him. Oh no, my phone battery's getting to be 10%. That makes me sad. KatieRock, I never imagined that one person could rob so many people the wrong way like she did to the mods. She just has this personality where, I said it earlier and I'm going to explain it again, and I believe that the people involved in all of this, like Steve McRae, KatieRock, Katie Joy, all have the same narcissistic personality where they believe that they are the victim, and they believe they are a victim so much that they carry around their body chalk with them. And so any scenario that permits a victim scenario, they throw themselves down, draw the chalk around their bodies, and there they are, they're the victim. So this is how all of this came about. And you know, he's the victim. The mods left him for Katie. Katie's the victim because Steve trashed her for so long. Steve's the victim because Katie and Kyle took his channel. And so if you see the common thread there, they're all victims. They all have the same narrative. They all have the same follow me and nod and smile requirement that everybody must have in order to follow the channel. And so it is what it is. You're welcome, Torn Edge Designs. I try to get things out in somewhat of a rational way, even though I actually go on and on sometimes too. I sometimes can't get my thoughts together and ramble, and I get excited when I get into chat because I feel like I'm finally having a live conversation with somebody. We've been cooped up again. That's my excuse for everything, but having a grown-up conversation and having people write back and having someone to talk to is exciting. So I get into my chat sometimes while I'm trying to explain something, but that one went over quite well. I think I did okay. And I'll probably come back and explain it some more. I feel that, like I said, it's going to be discussed. And I actually feel like I might do some research on some of the things that I know from back in the day. But other than that, it's 48 minutes and 13 seconds. I have a 10% warning on my phone, and the dog is halfway dragging me up the sidewalk while I'm still sitting on the curb. I will see you guys next time. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you again soon. Hope everyone has a good night. Much love.